Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Zero Fast, coming at you on behalf of NutriBullet Time, and I'm coming at you on day 22 of my weight loss challenge. My goal was to lose 20 pounds in 30 days. I'm going to postpone my weighing of myself. Several people commented in my YouTube channel comment section that they didn't think it was smart to weigh myself every day like that, and I took their advice to heart, and I've decided to weigh myself again on Friday. So here we are on Tuesday. So I'll weigh myself again on Friday, and we'll see where I'm at. I'm falling drastically short of my goal. Put it that way. But that's okay. It's been quite a journey these last 22 days, and I've learned quite a bit so far. I'm actually going to make a list of the things I have learned and talk to you guys about that on my last day, on day 30. And we'll get into what I did right, what I did wrong, what I learned about myself, in the hopes that maybe it'll help some other people out there. Today, I just wanted to share a story with you. I'm on the University of Arkansas Medical Sciences website right here, and this is a case study of a guy who lost weight. So this is a medical website. Okay, it's a University of Arkansas Medical Sciences website. It's a health institutional website. So this is a legit case study, and I just thought I'd read it to you really quick. Sometimes I will read case studies on things, you guys, because I can glean information from them. I can kind of look at them and say, okay, what worked for that person, what didn't work. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I could incorporate some of that into what I'm trying to do or whatever. I'll look at things like that. But anyway, let's get into this. At 6'3" and 282 pounds, Mr. JB, a retired factory worker, has had many class complications of obesity when he presented to our weight control program. He had undergone angioplasty several times and had bypass surgery in 1996. He was on terazosin hydrochloride, Hytrin, at 5 milligrams per day, and Trendiloprolil at 2 milligrams per day for hypertension. Hypertension's high blood pressure, you guys, just so you know. He was on 500 milligrams per day of metformin and 10 milligrams of glipizide to control his diabetes, which was diagnosed in 1988. And he was taking aspirin daily for coronary stroke prevention. So this guy was, almost 300 pounds. He was taking a lot of meds for high blood pressure and for diabetes and stroke prevention. So heart problems, diabetes problems. This guy wasn't doing so hot, honestly. Mr. JB had hypercholesterolemia, sorry if I'm butchering some of these medical terms, you guys, and had undergone gallstone surgery in 1994. He also had arthritis in the knees. That means it was hard for him to do any kind of walking or running, and had undergone surgery earlier that year for a ruptured disc. They mean disc in his back. He reported many symptoms of sleep apnea, loud snoring at night, sleepiness in the daytime, and his wife's observations that he sometimes stopped breathing during his sleep. Sleep apnea is often caused or aggravated by obesity. When the neck muscles relax, airways can be constricted by fatty tissue. With a body mass index of 35, Mr. JB obviously needed to lose weight to control his diabetes, coronary disease, and other medical problems, and he had a major success factor on his side: a sincere desire to change his habits and improve his health. It's a desire that I felt like I had too, honestly. But anyways, he had a sincere desire to change his habits and improve his health. This patient's social and family history yielded no additional contributory factors. Contributory. Sometimes I just cannot say the word right. Contributory factors. His mother died in a car accident at age 50. It's sad. And there was no significant family history of diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. He did not smoke or drink alcohol, and he walked 1 or 2 miles per day. Alright. That's interesting. That's more than I walk generally. He walked 1 or 2 miles a day. On physical exams, wait a minute, he was talking about, yeah. Okay, cool. On physical exam, the patient's blood pressure was 140/76. His pulse was 80 and regular. He tended to breathe noisily and with some difficulty, and he had a resting tachycardia. That means his heart rate was high when he was just relaxing, chilling. When he was just chilling out, his heart rate was too high. The exam was remarkable only for an S4 gallop on auscultation, 1+ pitting edema of his extremities. That means his legs were swelling. And decreased pedal pulses. That means they could feel his pulse in his ankles. Indicating his diabetes may have been affecting circulation to his extremities, or that the same disease that affected his coronary arteries also affected the vessels in his legs. Fundoscopic exam revealed an occasional exudate consistent with background diabetic retinopathy. Oh my god, sorry you guys. I'm not sure what a fundoscopic exam is, you guys. I'd have to look that up. It's been a long time since I've been out of the medical field. Anyways, Mr. JB and I had a long discussion. He felt that a goal weight of 220 pounds was attainable. So this guy wanted to go from 282 to 220. That was his goal. He agreed to restrict his calorie intake to 1,100 to 1,200 calories per day using a diet of nutritionally balanced supplements and one daily meal, and began keeping careful records of food and beverages consumed. Okay, so he was going to use a dietary supplements, and he was just going to eat once a day. He was going to restrict his calories to 1,100 to 1,200 calories daily, and he was going to keep a food journal. He was going to keep very good records of foods and beverages consumed. One important precaution for this particular patient was to take him off the glipizide, which controlled diabetes by stimulating insulin production. Because Mr. JB was eating less, continuing the glipizide would have put him at a much higher risk for hypoglycemia, which that means low blood sugar, which would not only be dangerous to his heart, but also counterproductive to his effort to lose weight. If his blood glucose dropped, his urge to eat might become uncontrollable. Mr. JB also began attending behavior modification classes. A vital part of our program at UAMS, the classes give our patients additional information about sticking to a calorie budget and reinforce what they have already learned from their physicians. Patients also benefit from the additional support and are more likely to stick to a plan if they're closely followed. That's really interesting. That's actually really interesting. Mr. JB began to see results right away, with a 5-pound weight loss during the first week. He continued to lose weight fairly steadily, and 5 months later he had lost about 45 pounds. At 10 months he had lost a total of nearly 50 pounds. At 10 months he had lost 50 pounds. That's pretty good. 10 months, that's, what is that, 42 weeks? So, he lost 50 pounds. Okay, 42 divided by 50. So 50 divided by 42. So he lost about a pound and a pound, 1.19 pounds a week. Interesting. Okay, so in addition to obvious benefits of enhanced self-esteem and healthier eating habits, this patient enjoyed some very important, perhaps life-saving health benefits. His blood pressure is now maintained with lower doses of terazosin and trandelapril. His fasting glucose was reduced from 211 to 119. 211 is crazy. I can't believe his fasting glucose was 211. Even though his medications for diabetes, metformin and glipizide, were discontinued. If he continues to maintain his weight loss, he may not need to take medications for diabetes. His cholesterol is greatly reduced. Prior to starting UAMS weight control program, his cholesterol was 255, his triglyceride was 478. Most recently, his lipids were greatly improved, the cholesterol of 149, triglyceride of 128. In addition, he is sleeping much better, feeling refreshed in the morning. His wife is also sleeping better since his snoring is reduced. While severely limiting caloric intake can be dangerous for patients who are trying to do it on their own, this patient's experience illustrates that fairly rapid weight loss can be safely and effectively achieved with a physician's help through careful monitoring along with guidance and selecting foods and/or diet supplements. Some patients may also benefit from carefully selected medications such as sibutramine, Meridia, or Orlistat, Xenical, but these medications should be accompanied by behavior modification. However, I think it's interesting that they're accompanying medicine with behavior modification training. However, every patient who need to lose just a few pounds can benefit. However, even patients who need to lose just a few pounds can benefit from UAMS's weight loss program. In fact, some of our patients are not overweight but just want to improve their eating habits to maintain good health. Almost anyone can benefit from a healthy diet and exercise program. Most people are surprised to find they have vastly underestimated their caloric intake and overestimated their physical activity. Also, many people overestimate and underestimate their weight problem. The body mass index can be useful in determining whether a person's weight falls within a healthy range. While a few stubborn and vexing pounds may not be the serious problem that our society makes them out to be, true obesity is a critical and costly health problem in the U.S. Some studies have indicated that more than half of Americans are overweight. Often seriously overweight people spend much of their lives struggling to lose weight, jumping from one fad diet or new remedy to another without even ever achieving lasting success. The problem isn't necessarily a lack of motivation. They may have simply been misguided by mixed messages in the media or friends and family full of good intentions and bad advice. We've talked about that, you guys. We talked about that same exact thing. An effective diet and exercise program coupled with professional behavior modification can make all the difference for these patients to their weight, health, self-esteem, and quality of life. I write sales pages and I write sales letters, and I gotta warn everybody that this has marketing undertones to it. They're definitely pitching their program, but I think there's something to be gleaned from this case study. You know, he used supplements and he ate one meal a day. He ate between, I think, about 1,200 calories a day. He was working on his behavior also, and I think that's interesting. He was working on his behavior. He was working like on his mental game as well. They didn't mention anything about exercise. I wonder if he just continued to walk about a mile a day, 1 to 2 miles a day. He was keeping track of his caloric intake in a journal that he was writing down everything he was eating. It shouldn't have been too hard. He was only eating once a day. That's always been my problem with a journal, is just trying to keep track of everything I'm eating and writing it all down. It's just like, oh my God, this is a pain in the butt. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying it's cool to be that way, but to be honest, it's just a pain in the rear to try to write all that stuff down all the time. It gets old. Even like I even got like a little iPhone thing where I can, like, my MyFitnessPal, where I can like just scan stuff. But the thing about that is, when you scan stuff, not everything can be scanned. Not everything you eat can be scanned. If you go to the deli at the grocery store or whatever and you get like some mashed potatoes or some chicken tenders or something like that, you can't scan that stuff. I mean, you have to kind of write it all in there. It's just kind of like whatever, man. And maybe that sounds lazy to some of you guys, but I'm just being honest with some of the obstacles that I've experienced with trying to keep a food journal or whatever. And maybe I'll do another video about food journals. But anyways, he kept a food journal. This guy experienced great success. He lost 1 to 2 pounds a week over a 10-month period. He was eating one meal a day. I'd be interested to know what his one meal a day looked like. And I'd also be interested to know what supplements they had him taking, you know. Anyways, that's just me. I thought I'd share that case study with you guys. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this case study. What did you glean from this case study? What information did you find interesting on this case study? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be back tomorrow with another one, guys. See ya. Peace.